Hello and welcome to my first review of any of the apps good for the iPhone 4, iPhone 3GS, or the iPod Touch. This has kind of been a lot of my, distraction for a while, and you can see why. But I wanted to go into one of my favorite types of games, and I'm sure a lot of you have come across them if you have a phone or an iPod like this, and that's path strategy games. These are games where you kind of make your own path. I think the one that made this most popular is Flight Control, but I wanted to review a couple that are out there and mainly some of my favorites. So we'll start with Flight Control. This is, I think, the first one that really brought popularity to it. And basically, you're landing airplanes. You're kind of like a sky tower. There's a couple different maps to choose from. They update them all the time, which is really nice. But we'll play this one because it's the only one I played on this version. Like many, there'll be different incoming obstacles. In this one it's planes, and you have to draw paths to land them. It's pretty self-explanatory. Of course, this game's going to get much more difficult as time goes on. You can't have things crash. There's a lot of different features on trying to land as many airplanes, helicopters, etc. as possible before you crash. And trust me, it does get pretty close to impossible near a certain amount. One of my personal new favorites is Aqua, and this one is actually completely free, which is really nice. And what Aqua is all about is basically not crashing or like keeping things apart, but putting things together. I'll kind of explain this. We'll go with no sound. So the state, you have tons of levels to choose from, and you can play all of them from the beginning, which is pretty nice. We'll start with the beginning one. It's super self-explanatory, super easy. Each one has a little synopsis on how to play it, what your goals are, and the special blobs are in this event. This one's pretty simple. So you have two different types of globs. You have the little orange guys and the green guys. Sorry, the orange guys and the blue guys. And then the green guys are the specials. Now you basically pair up like things by drawing paths to each other, and then they'll go into the second rank. And then you take two of the second ranks. Oh, and see, I crashed. You have 3 lives in this one, which is kind of nice, though. I'm about to crash again. The green, which is kind of nice, combines with anything. So they're kind of like your saving grace if they run into something. So here's the first stage of the oranges coming together. They crash, and then I'll merge them with the second pair, and then they go away. And this is basically how it goes. It just gets more and more complicated, more and more bad guys at once, but not too difficult. The really fun thing about this feature is, though, it is very unique in this aspect, and the level choices are fun because each level is completely different. The stages look different. For one, there are things that you need to avoid and need to watch out for, but then every single one has a different special guy who has different things, whether that's the ability to better combine with people, things that you need to avoid for points, and just a lot of really fun features that they've added into this game. It looks really good, and it is completely free. Aqua, I would look it up. One of my also favorite things is it is paired with OpenFaint. If you haven't heard of this, it's really nice. They have a lot of games out there, and it keeps track of basically achievements and statistics. It's kind of like Xbox 360 and its achievements. And you can kind of see that from wherever you are. And if you bring in your goals, you kind of look at your achievements. It's just, ooh, and I just unlocked a few because it hasn't synced in a while. It's just a fun side thing. It gives you accomplishments for playing on hours and hours and end. I think one of the achievements is playing for like 100 hours, so lots to do in Aqua. Alright, one of the new ones that I discovered is not my personal favorite, but I am going to review it just because everyone always talks about it, and that's 33rd Division. 33rd Division basically deals with like a war setting. Kind of nice, kind of fun. We'll say no sound again. I don't personally like it because there's too much to look out for. I'll show you just in the first one. I'll always play casual mode, first level. This is again the light version. I don't want to buy the full one, but basically you're these little soldiers, and you have to get to your certain goal without being detected by these little green line of sights. Now if you get too close to your line of sight, you just tap your guy and he hides. He can't be seen by the people, of course, unless they actually run into him. It's really self-explanatory, but it kind of seems to just drag on. Nothing really new happens. You have different guys. You have like little health guys that give you more points, commanders. There's little power-ups that'll appear every once in a while that you can grab to make your guy better or higher score. But again, if you run to the line of fire, you die. One of the new ones that I found is Fair City. Now Fair City is another open feint, so it has a little bit of achievements to it, which is fun. And I'm pretty sure this was completely free also. The really fun thing about this is you get like more taxis added. I'm actually in the middle of a level, but you have little white taxis to pick up new people, and then once they've been picked up, you get a new destination in which to take them to. And basically it's just trying to get as much money, pick up as many people without crashing your taxis as possible. Luckily, when you do crash a taxi, you don't instantly die, at least on the first mode. You just lose one of your little insurance stars, which you gain more and more of as you build up your combo ranks. So it's pretty simple to keep one game going for a really long time. I'll show you what happens when you crash, if I can. Oop, little crash right there. And again, one of my stars will go away, but that's fine. Those two disappear, but everything else continues on like nothing ever happened. Another one is Helicopter Rescue. Now this, I think you'll play once and quit, but it's free, so I'm going to throw it out there. There's a sequel to it, but I haven't played it yet. Basically, you are a rescue team trying to pick up survivors that are stranded on wherever and bring them back to base. The only thing you really have to worry about is obviously colliding with other helicopters and fuel, which will automatically regain as they're at the base. To show you what I mean, we'll just go to this area. And in this one you have 2 helicopters that can hold 2 people and one that can hold 1. Basically just lead your helicopters 2 people. When they get there, they'll kind of pick them up, indicate that they're full, and you bring them back to a helipad. This actually goes on for a very, very long time and takes a long time to get hard. I think my high score on this is like 365, and that was the first time playing it. It's not a hard game to get into, but at one point it really does get pretty tricky because there's so many people that are apparently lost on this little island. I don't know how there's hundreds of people getting lost and no one closes it down. Like, where's the patrol? Whatever, I'm rambling. Probably my second favorite is Harbor 3D. Bad thing is, ads. You can't escape ads, but it is completely free, so you can't really beat that. Harbor 3D has only a couple levels to choose from, 4, at least right now that I can see, but it combines really, really nice features. For instance, we'll go to one of the harder levels, I guess the 3rd, Arctic. It's basically like a landing game, just like Flight Control or Harbor Master, which I'll get to, but you have 3 different types of ships. You have ships that go on water, and when you select them it kind of shows you where you need to take them. Pretty fun. But it also combines submarines, which will go underwater, and helicopters, which go above. And all 3 of these things can kind of go underneath each other, around each other, and you don't have to worry. So it's kind of like having 3 games going on at once and trying to make sure that none of them collide. Now finally, my favorite. Hands down, Harbor Master is one of the best path-based games out there. It combines replayability like crazy, and it only has 6 levels, which is really funny, but the world servers, achievements, and global stats showing you kind of where you rank on the world server versus like your best shift, how good your average shift is, and then just total, how much you play it. Do you play it more than everybody else in the world? It doesn't quite have achievements, I would say, but it is pretty cool to kind of pit yourself against where everybody else is in the world. Well, it's taking too long to load, so we'll skip it. This has 6 levels, and each one has a new kind of challenge, I guess, to get over. Fishing Bay is the first one you start off with. Very, very simple. It's just you have 2 docks, and ships will come in. ISO arrows, really good features to load ships. And once they get in, they'll be there for a moment or 2, unload all their load, and then you have to path them back off of the map. Now, as time goes on, you'll get ships that have 2 pieces of loads on them, and then up to 4, the cruise ships, which go very slow, and it starts to make things very confusing. Alright guys, so that's my review of a couple of my favorite path-based strategy games. I know there's a lot more out there, and if you guys have any that you think I would like, or that you would like me to review, please feel free, leave a comment, tell me how you feel. I don't think I'll be doing a lot of these, because I don't know enough about iPhone apps, nor do I really play that many, but there are a couple that I think are really useful that a lot of people might like also. So I might put something else up, but don't count on a lot. But yeah, I guess that's about it. Hope you guys have a good time looking at these new games because they take up a lot of my time and they're pretty cheap because most of them are free. So look them up. Bye. My glasses are so dirty and it sucks that you can see it. Look at how dirty that is. Look at it. Look at it. I need to shave.